Hello, everyone. Here to talk a bit about a shift in what I plan to do with my time on YouTube. I think I've made many videos like this over the years. I've made a lot of kind of shifts of directions, and I think maybe I do spend too much time kind of thinking about what I want to do with this YouTube channel instead of just doing it. I think a lot of people would say, you should spend less time reflecting on how you think about the YouTube channel, and you should spend more time just making videos, just make content, and let things happen. But I'm gonna talk a bit about what I've been thinking of doing and why. And in order to do that, I'm gonna have to go all the way back to the beginning. So let me go all the way back to the very beginning when I started my YouTube channel around the year 2007, 2008. It was, I think. My original plan, the original thing that I wanted to do with YouTube, was just to post videos of computer games. That was it. If you look at my very first few videos, I didn't even have my voice there. Like, I didn't have any of my commentary in the videos. I literally just made videos of games that I wanted to highlight. Just wanted to make some videos of some games and show off these games for people who wanted to watch them, because I like those games and I thought maybe they would benefit from some exposure, publicity among people who might want to watch the videos. So that was it. At that point in time, YouTube was pretty new. I think YouTube started around 2005-ish, roughly, something like that. So at the time that I was doing that, YouTube itself had only existed for about 2 or 3 years. So there really wasn't that much on YouTube yet. It was still, a pretty new medium. People were still figuring out what they wanted to do with it. And I thought, I'll just, I don't see myself as having a big future on YouTube, don't want to really get into YouTube very much, but I'll just make some videos of games and just put up videos of games so that people can see the games. That's all I wanted to do. But then I thought sometimes it's good to comment on the games. Sometimes, you can talk about the games, fill in a little bit of the history or the backstory behind the games, or explain or describe some things in the games which are not necessarily obvious just from looking at the video of the game. So, I made a few videos where I started putting my voice into the videos, and I found that people liked my voice. People enjoyed my commentary, and some people told me basically, your videos are better with your commentary in them. It's better if you talk. It's better if you have your voice commentary in the videos. So some people disagree on that. Some people say videos, my videos would be better without my commentary because they don't like my voice or my commentary. But I think overall, the majority of people who watch my channel probably watch it because they like my voice. They like the things I say about the games. Because today there are lots of places where you can get information about games. Today YouTube has been around for about 20 years. Hard to believe it's been that long, right? But yeah, YouTube has been around for about 20 years now. So if you just want a video about any old computer game or video game, you can find videos about pretty much every old game that has ever been made by now. Often total, like full long plays, so like complete playthroughs from beginning to end of the whole game. Or if not that, at least, videos showing off some aspect of the games. So there's not really much point in making videos about just games anymore, unless they're very obscure games, like really super obscure games that no one knows about, but there are not many of those. There are not a lot of there are not a lot of games that have no videos on YouTube anymore, so there's not much point in making videos about just games, from my perspective, unless they're really obscure games that no one knows about. And it turned out after a while, it seemed to me that people liked my videos more for myself as a personality than for the games themselves. Because some people said, we'd just like to watch your videos of you doing anything. It's really more about you as a personality. We like your personality. It's more about people enjoyed watching me than they enjoyed watching the games, which is nice. It's nice that people say that. I appreciate that people enjoy my voice. I mean, I'm blessed to have the voice that I have. I appreciate that people enjoy listening to me. That's, very flattering. And, I like making these videos. So I like making videos that people enjoy. And I'm grateful that people enjoy my videos. But I never really wanted to do more with my channel than that. I never really wanted to do more than just make some silly, fun videos about me, just making some videos about me talking about some video games. I had fairly modest ambitions for my life, and what I did want to do didn't have much to do with YouTube. I mean, career-wise, I didn't want to do much more than just have a simple life as a tech guy, working some simple little tech job, and then, maybe in my spare time I'd do hobby things, which included, among other things, making YouTube videos of me playing old games. But there have been a few changes in my life and in the world over the almost 20 years that YouTube has been around, and almost 20 years since I started my YouTube channel. I realized already years ago that what I want to do with my YouTube channel and what other people want me to do with my YouTube channel are two very different things. My viewers tend to watch my videos for nostalgia. Most people, I think, who watch my videos, they want to remember the games they played when they were children. So people want to see games like, like the Monkey Island games, or they want to see, other really classic games like Doom. It's a nostalgia thing for them, which I understand. I mean, I understand that nostalgia is a powerful force. I mean, I also experience nostalgia, of course. But I always wanted to do the opposite with my channel. I always wanted to show not the games that everyone knows. I wanted to show specific games that people haven't seen before. I wanted to dig up the most obscure, the most unknown games, to bring these sort of unknown games into the light and kind of give them some attention that I thought they deserved. I wanted to expose the most underrated and underexposed games and kind of give them a little bit of a spotlight on YouTube, which, that's what I personally wanted to do, what I kind of personally felt like doing with the channel, kind of bringing awareness about underrated old games into the world. But like I said, that's exactly what people don't want. They don't want to see some game that they've never seen before. Most people want to remember their childhood memories. And also a lot of people want to see games because they really like voice acting. Again, this goes back to the whole Quest for Glory 4 thing. When I did Quest for Glory 4, I and Her Crabbiness, we did our own voices, and a lot of people said we really liked the voice acting from the talkie version of the game. The voiced version of the game had great voice acting from Jonathan Rhys Davies, I think, or something like that, and some other actors as well. They did such a great job voice acting. We wanted to hear the original voice acting. But for me, doing my own voices is part of the fun of a Let's Play. When I do like a longer Let's Play with several characters and, I do different funny voices, for me, that's part of the fun. That's something that, was part of the fun of making these videos, which is apparently not really what people wanted. People wanted to hear the original voice acting, which for me is like, okay, if you want that, you can just watch a long play. You can, if you want to just see the original game with the original voice acting, then you can just watch a long play of the game without commentary. And most games have, most people have put up long play videos of most games, most old DOS games by now, so you can find those on YouTube. I don't need to make videos about that. So I kind of realized that what I wanted to do with the channel was not what people really want to see. That's part of the reason why I've been making fewer videos in recent years. And I want to be clear, I'm not saying that I'm going to stop making videos. I'm not saying that this is the end. I'm not going to make any more videos. I'm not saying something like that. But I've been thinking about doing something else. I've always been thinking maybe I should do something else with my YouTube channel. So I'm going to try to branch out and try to do other things. And if people don't necessarily want to see these old computer games, then maybe there's something else I can do with my YouTube presence that people might enjoy more. One of the reasons why I've been thinking about this was somebody who has been a longtime viewer of my channel for many years recently suggested to me, why don't you try making ASMR videos? Because my voice would maybe work well for ASMR type videos. Now, I don't really know anything about ASMR. I know what it is. I kind of understand the concept, but I don't really know about how to make an ASMR video. I don't really know what I should do with a voice like mine that would make a good ASMR video. Another thing that has been proposed to me many times, which I've not really done, but which I've been thinking about doing, is making a podcast. I might do that. The problem with a podcast is I'd like to have someone else to do it with. I'd prefer to have someone else to kind of provide counter commentary, because I don't want to make a podcast of just me talking the whole time. And I'm not sure that I could consistently think of good topics to talk about. So, I would need good topics to, I don't mind making occasional things, but if I have to stick to a schedule, then the problem is then I have to come up with ideas for these productions, and I can come up with good ideas occasionally, but not necessarily on a weekly basis, or however often I might do the podcast. So, if I start doing podcasts, I know what podcasts are. I've listened to podcasts. I don't need much advice about that, but I did want to ask for advice about ASMR. If anybody there, likes my voice, or is listening to my voice and thinking, this guy would be good for ASMR videos, can I just ask for this is like an open question to anyone watching, what kind of ASMR videos do you think I'd be good at? Because, like I said, I don't really need advice on podcasts. I know how to do a podcast. I know, I kind of get it. I've never done a podcast, but I'm pretty sure I could figure out how to do it. But I don't know much about ASMR or doing ASMR or how different kinds of ASMR works. So if anyone out there knows a lot about ASMR and wants to give some advice about how my voice particularly would adapt well to specific ASMR scenarios, I'm open to suggestions. Please post your suggestions in the comments. What kind of ASMR videos would you want to see or listen to from me? I'd be curious to see what kind of feedback I get about that. So yeah, I'm going to try to get into things that are a little bit more human, let's say, because all my life, I've been very involved in technology. I've been very involved in computers, not only computer games, but also other aspects of computers. My jobs, I've been working in IT for the last 20 years, and that's always, kind of been what I wanted to do. But I'm realizing that it's not very fulfilling at this point. I'm realizing that the idea of having a good job being an IT guy is kind of in the past. And now we're seeing more than ever that AI is taking over and replacing a lot of those jobs. People are saying that now in the next few years that a lot of developer jobs will just disappear because AI will start writing a lot of its own code. I don't know how true that is, but in any case, I think that with the sort of rising prevalence of AI, it's probably more important than ever for us to think about and explore and practice, like to actually do the things that make us human. What makes us human, and what makes us as human beings different from an artificial intelligence? I don't know that I can answer that question, but I'm going to try to. I'm going to try to sort of examine more about what makes me a human being. Kind of get in touch with my humanity a little more and kind of express that in videos a little more. And that means kind of getting away from computer games, because as much as I love computer games, I think that maybe expressing myself in less computer-oriented or technology-oriented ways might serve that end a little bit better. So like I said, and again, like I said, this doesn't mean I'm going to entirely stop making videos about computer games. I still intend to occasionally make, funny little videos about old DOS games and stuff like that. So I'm not going to stop completely, but I think that's going to be less of my focus going forward. I'm going to start focusing a bit more on doing something a bit more, I don't want to say commercial, because I'm not really planning to make any money with this. I have never monetized my YouTube videos, ever. I have never once monetized any of my videos. And I think at some point YouTube started putting ads on some of my videos, even though I didn't choose to do so, which is kind of annoying. That means that, who's making money on the ads? I guess just YouTube is making money on ads on videos that I made, and I'm not making any money off it at all, which is kind of annoying, kind of unfair, but whatever. That's neither here nor there. It's something else. I'm not doing this to make money, so people who think that I'm selling out, trying to do the most commercial thing, I don't think that's true. I don't really see this as necessarily turning into a career thing. But since people seem to like my YouTube presence, I guess it makes sense to utilize that in a way that reaches more people and that provides more meaning to people, to more people. And I think I could probably do that in better ways than continuing to make videos about 30 plus, actually, even more than 30-year-old computer games at this point. So yeah, thinking about making a podcast. I don't know that I will, but it's something that I've had as an idea for a while. People have told me that I should. We'll see what happens. I'd like to make a podcast with someone whom I know. I know a few people who might be willing to do it, but I'll have to kind of arrange something with them. We'll see what happens. ASMR videos are a possibility. Thinking about it, again, please give me your suggestions. I'd like to know what people think about my voice and what kinds of things they'd like to see me doing with my voice. Like, should I go for a deep voice? Should I try to change my voice somehow? Should I do different voice intonations, different situations, different phrases, whatever? I don't know. Like I said, I don't really know much about ASMR. I know what it is, but I don't know what makes a good ASMR video. So open to feedback. And yeah, I guess that's all I really wanted to say. I'd like to. Again, I don't see this as selling out. I just see this as doing things that more people would be interested in and that would reach more people in a way that would positively affect them or their mood or their life in some meaningful and hopefully good way. So that's all. That's kind of the thing that I'm thinking about doing right now. So yeah, if anybody wants to leave any feedback, any suggestions, I'm open to suggestions and feedback. Thanks for watching, everyone. Take care, and I will hopefully talk to all of you later. Bye-bye for now.